Hello, this is Seth.
And Drew, and
we are more than surviving.
Hey everybody, Drew here.
And this is Seth.
Today we're actually going to be doing episode number 1.
We're going to be talking about what more than surviving is.
So Seth, what does it mean to you to be more than surviving?
To me, more than surviving is about working through my past, the things that have held me back. It's about working through my trauma and the negative thoughts that make me feel bad about myself. It's basically about me just pushing forward every day to become a better version of myself, just not giving up. And it's something that I really strive to work on every day. It's really changed my life. What would you say more than surviving means to you?
More than surviving means to me would have to be constantly making sure that I'm aware that this is my actual life. Life is no dress rehearsal. I like living by that motto because of the fact that I can't repeat this. I can't go back in time and fix it. So in order to do the best I very can do, I'm constantly going to push to my potential. I'm constantly going to push past all of the things I've been through. And I'm going to make sure that no matter what, I do 110% in everything that I live in, dream of, breathe of, constant. What would you say the definition is of surviving?
Well, it's actually interesting that you asked me that because I was kind of curious at what the actual definition was, like what we would see in the dictionary. And they define it as remaining alive or in existence. So, if we just think about that for a moment, when you're just surviving, you are simply existing. That's the threshold for you. That's as far as you go. So you're not really pushing yourself. You're not really, pushing your boundaries to become a better person. You're more or less just doing what needs to be done. And I would say that, in some instances, surviving is what's needed. When we're going through a lot, maybe in that moment, all that we can do is survive. But, especially I know for us, what got us out of that hole of just surviving was to be more than surviving, to push ourselves past our limits, to raise our threshold for happiness, to, really try to work hard and meet our potential. And that's where I think people find that their lives become so much more fulfilling and so much more enriched because they're actually pushing past further than they'd ever think that they would before.
I completely 100% agree because when I first met Seth, we were both dealing with a lot of our own mental health issues and stuff, and she didn't understand to question things in life, which was, to me, was always something that was kind of like a thing with my family. They would constantly question every single thing, and I think that's what helped me understand with being and surviving. And I told her that she could question things, and that seemed to help open up her mind a lot more. Would you say that?
Yeah, I would definitely think that more than surviving is about changing your perspective and opening your mindset. So once I did that, it really felt like my entire world opened up. There were so many more possibilities. I was able to connect with people better and learn more about myself. And I really think that's what more than surviving is about. But, we were both really curious to kind of hear from other people and what their experiences were, how they would personally describe more than surviving. Because as you know, the term itself is really interpretive. It can be defined differently depending on the person. So the first, couple that we spoke with, we really connected with them on Instagram. Their name is Fate and Wild. We absolutely love them. Definitely check out their Instagram page. They're such a cute couple. But we asked them what more than surviving meant to them. And here is a little bit of a clip of what they said. They said, before we fell in love, we had very organized lives. We were ambitious, focused on studies. It was all great in theory, but sometimes we felt that our fulfilling lives had a piece missing. Falling in love shifted our lives 180 degrees. With love, the world became a better place for us, and it opened our eyes to do so much more. So it sounds like for them, more than surviving is really about love.
And I actually was very, very happy that I reached out to one of my most favorite singers of all time. Now, anybody who doesn't know this, I'm over 30. Been listening to Amy Steinberg since I was 19 years old. If you haven't heard of her, you need to hear her because she is amazing.
Her music is on our website, so if you check out the music page, you'll be able to hear some of her songs.
So I asked her what more than surviving was, and she said being in love with what is. The ups and downs, riding the waves instead of sitting on the beach, watching life go by. Deep, experiential living, connections, creations, restful joy, and wild abandon. To her, more than surviving is literally going through life and accepting everything, the good, the bad, the ugly. Definitely check her out, and we even got a few more for you.
Yeah, so there's another amazing person on Instagram. Her name is Mary Angela, and she runs the page Faces of Fortitude. She has over 12,000 followers so far, and she aims to shed light on trauma and healing. If you haven't already, check out her project. But when we asked her what more than surviving meant, she said, when you survive, you aren't just living. You're battered, you're worn, you're tired, you're spent, but you're still alive. More than surviving is essentially to fight for not just yourself, but also for other people. So it really sounds like for her, more than surviving is about connecting with other people and helping other people better their lives too.
I reached out to one of my former coworkers, Gabriella, who currently has her bachelor's in psychology and is getting started on her master's. She wants to actually eventually help women who have struggled with pain and trauma overcome and start their lives better. So we said to Gabby, what is more than surviving? And she said, well, I lived my life as if it were a marathon. With each checkpoint I passed, I am one step closer to the life I've always wanted. More than surviving is about taking control of your life and happiness. So for Gabriella, in order to understand that she can live to her full potential, she understands that she has to take control. But that's not all. We even met these amazing people called the Foxes.
The Foxes are a couple who work in photography, and they travel in this amazing Airstream. It all looks so cute. You should definitely check them out. They said that more than surviving is thriving. They said, we want to thrive in every aspect of our lives. We don't just maintain a base level of happiness. We work hard to have more of it. To be more than surviving is fighting complacency and always pursuing happiness and new adventures. So it really sounds like to them it's about adding meaningful activities to their life, adding all the things that, really make them feel fulfilled, which is really awesome.
Not a lot of people know how to do that. And a lot of people tend to get stuck in the same monotony as wake up, go to work, eat, sleep, wake up, go to work, eat, sleep. And really what we're about is to teach people that if you're going to wake up with purpose, wake up with meaning, wake up with everything. So the next people that you're going to hear are Wonder Free and Queer, and their main purpose is queer visibility throughout travel and LGBT lifestyle. So here's what they have to say about what it means to be more than surviving. So we are here with Wonder Free and Queer, and our question is, what does it mean to you to be more than surviving?
Take it away.
Oh, God. Allie tells Danella to take it away.
Well, actually, we were just talking about this, right?
Yes,
we were like, what a cool name. I actually like it because somebody had told me that more than surviving would equal thriving. And so I guess I think of the word thriving, which makes me think of the fact that you're like doing more than just like getting up and paying bills and going to a job that maybe you don't like very much and like kind of doing the 9-to-5 thing.
Yeah, accessing like what makes your heart happy.
Yeah, so you're not just like doing what you're supposed to do if that doesn't make you happy. We feel like the RV life is more than surviving, although some days it's just surviving the RV life.
I think it has to be.
Yep. But yeah, I think it's more like just enjoying your life a little bit more, or like taking a little bit more control of your life for yourself.
Absolutely.
Making, healthy decisions, being mindful. I don't know. What do you have to add?
Yeah, that's good.
I'm not sure I have anything to add to that. But I just always think of it as like big, beautiful living. So like making my life bigger, meeting more people, doing more things, like accessing more of life, I guess. Whereas before, when I was just surviving, you're just staying alive, but not accessing life.
It's a really good point.
I like it.
We got it.
Yeah, we like it.
Beautiful.
And last, but certainly not least, we had the opportunity to interview Andy Grammer, which if you've heard his songs on the radio, they're very popular. He sings Honey, I'm Good, and You Gotta Keep Your Head Up. Here is what he had to say about what more than surviving means.
More than surviving is probably, so if you're surviving, it's just all about you. So more than surviving would be figuring out how to make everybody else around you happier, which in turn makes you feel fantastic. So something like tonight would be like, come give my time, but I'm getting so much love. Like the amount of love that I've gotten just from talking about get them some donuts is outrageous. So more than surviving to me is about giving to others. Got it? Cool. Okay.
Thank you for listening.
Tune in next week.